Welcome everyone to the GPod stream where GMooders come and talk. On today's stream is myself, Awsum N00b. Then we have Monsieur Herr.
Hello.
Say hello.
I'm the guy.
We've got Sanguine.
Hey, what's up, people?
Mr. Toon.
Hello.
And TikTakFrog.
Hello there, everyone.
Right, and to start off as usual, we ask everyone how they're doing. Herr, how's it going?
I'm fine.
Good to hear. Sanguine, what it do?
Ecstatic, really. I'm just happy to be here for the first time. Glad to be here.
Nice. Toon, what's shaking?
It's pretty exciting. I mean, it's been a while since I've shared my voice on the internet and stuff, so it's pretty exciting.
And Tick, I have no alliteration, but how you doing anyway? Hello, Tick.
You broke up. Can you say that again?
How you doing? I want to know.
Pretty good, except for me losing my microphone.
Oh,
We need
well,
to come prepared
we
next
make do.
Yep.
Right. Let's move on. Our first question of the day is, in Garry's mod animations, are serious plots or nonsensical plots better? Can both work? Is one better than the other for Garry's mod videos? So, plot or crazy shit? What do you think?
I think both can work. But I'm more of a plot person because, you know, movies. I love movies. Movies usually have plots, and if they don't, they get low Rotten Tomato scores. And basically what I'm saying is that I don't want my GMod videos to get 17% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Sanguine, what's your idea of this?
Well, I feel I like what Herr said about that they can work together at times, but I will always say at the end of the day, a sort of like a well thought out story or a plot or something like that you will get more satisfaction out of it than you would just a random nonsensical bullshit video. You can have the nonsensical random humor work in your favor, of course, just like Herr said, but at the end of the day, you get more enjoyment out of a well thought out plot, and it brings more emotion out of the viewer, I feel. So I've always thought that a good plot is much better.
If I may add something, I'd like to say if you want to incorporate crazy shit, just work it into the story.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
You gotta find context. You gotta find a reason for it.
Because even though you have like all these like crazy sort of videos, like I can't remember, was it Crazy Scout's Adventure or Scout's Crazy Adventure? I don't know. But I remember it had a point to it. It had a story to it. And that's what I found unique about it. I like the fact that he actually incorporated a good story into it with all the random stuff happening everywhere else. I thought that was very well done.
Yes, exactly. Things have to have a point.
But Toon, you got it, Dad?
Yeah, I kind of agree with like what Herr and Sanguine said. Like you guys can like mix it together, but like I kind of like the silly stuff more because it kind of brings the definition of Gmod. But I also like about the serious like plot stuff because that always is good, and I usually like some parts of it. And yeah, I mean both can work together, but I might have to go with like the silly parts.
Then Tick, if you're there, got anything to say?
Once again, I agree with her, and I think there should be a story to just about every Garry's Mod video.
If I could add on to Shane's saying of like, it is pretty much like what Garry's Mod is used for most of the time. Yeah, Garry's Mod is not exactly a professional way of animation, hardly ever.
It's inherently
it is
silly.
used for very silly animations most of the time, but I do feel like it can be used for a sort of serious context. I remember I released like a video called The Hunt and everything, and I was trying my best to make it look as smooth as possible, little, silly animations and everything. I didn't want to make it silly. I just wanted to make it like a very serious animation, and I felt that I
Right, and there's like nothing
did
wrong
it
with
pretty
that
all
and
right.
stuff.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah.
No. I think people look at the nonsensical things, but I think all the good nonsensical ones actually do have a story if you look hard enough. So story all the way for me.
I guess it's all up to interpretation.
Oh yeah.
But don't leave too much up for interpretation. That's when it can get a little bit, eh.
Yeah, you gotta
just leave some to the viewer.
guide them along the way, but let them think for themselves.
Right.
So I think we can agree that both work. Yes, no.
Yeah, it's all
Yeah,
good.
I would say so.
Mhm.
Just do whatever you want. That's
does
my
anyone
motto.
think that one is better than the other? Even by just a bit.
They're always like, it's always like kind of like one could be better than the other, but then sometimes the other one is always better than the other. So it's kind of like
It depends.
yeah.
It depends on how it's done.
I do agree with her. It depends on how it's done. You need to have like context for it. It just depends on how you go about it. One can be better than the other, but it just depends on how you go about it. I just believe that both can work equally.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty much what I think too.
All right. We should move on to our next question,
Yeah.
which is: would you rather be unseen and enjoy your own work, or be famous and not enjoy your work at all? Harry, you first.
Yes, and I must say, I'm so glad I'm not Gino.
I see where you're coming from.
I guess that's basically my answer.
Okay, yeah, that's. What about you, Sanguine?
Well, I think it's pretty much a no-brainer question. I think I would rather be unseen and enjoy my own work than be famous and not enjoy it at all. I mean, there's a difference between, being famous for something that you enjoy. I mean, you get more enjoyment out of it. And even though there's not that many people, watching you or something like that, you don't have like 10 million subs or something like that. I feel like if you enjoy it more than you would if you were more famous, then you should probably just go for that. I just prefer to enjoy my work and worry about publicity and like popularity later, because that's at the end of the day, like, the reason I do all these animations and everything is not only just because I love animation in general. I just love what I do. It's fun, and it's just a way for me to get my creative mind out there.
Very good answer.
Toon.
Well,
you think?
I'd rather be unseen and like enjoy my work, because if you're not enjoying your work, you're not really having fun with Gmod. And the purpose of Gmodding animations is supposed to have fun. You can have fun while doing it, and it's like, so if you don't have fun while doing it, then why are you doing it? Because you're basically just like, either you're wasting your time or it's just like. So that's why I'd rather be unseen or enjoy my work, because I actually do enjoy my work.
How about you, Tick?
Honestly, I'd be fine where my channel is right now, even if it never grew ever again. I just like making content for the sake of making content. So I would prefer just to enjoy my content.
I wouldn't mind fame if it came, but I don't want to be overtaken by it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I would very much agree with her. As long as I enjoy my work, I don't mind.
I do not want fame to, restrict, as I mentioned.
For me, if I didn't enjoy my videos, I wouldn't make them, and I wouldn't want them to exist. So that goes above everything else. But like you said, fame, if it comes, I won't push it out.
As they say, fame makes a man take things over. That was a Bowie song.
I think you need to not have fame to know how to act when you do have fame.
I would say so as well. Yeah, I think that's a very good point. Yeah.
And so when you look at like celebrities and stuff, and you think, Jesus, these guys are complete assholes. If I was famous, I wouldn't act like that.
Yeah, I mean,
Justin
you see
Bieber
that
is a great example.
On to the next question we have, which is, what would you say to an animator that is unmotivated to make videos?
I think I speak for everyone when I say just make them anyway. I don't follow through with that advice myself usually, but it's what I would do if it was a perfect world.
Right,
Oh
what
my god,
about
Twitch questions. Thanks, JP. Anyway, back to the podcast.
Yes, let's switch up the order. We'll go with Tick first. After Hair's already gone, like, but whatever.
Yeah.
Tick, when you're ready.
All right. The question is how to get like motivation, whatnot.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I'd say just do it. Otherwise, you're never going to do it. And listen to some good music that you enjoy. It helps thinking.
Usually I just get distracted by the music when I do that, but then I do it anyway.
I'm sort of half and half there. Some depends on the music, I guess.
That is true. I listen to more heavy music when I want action scenes and whatnot. It depends on the mood of the scene I want to make.
That's a
Sure,
good idea,
Tim.
actually. I don't think I've ever done that.
Yeah, that seems like a pretty alright.
Yeah,
sort of
it's-
idea.
I guess if you're doing that, you could be doing a scene and a song comes on that you think, hey, that's perfect. You know?
You know, I always trying to find like the catchiest songs, and it like that kind of like motivates me. And every time I find one, I just like start animating and stuff, and it really helps get my work done.
And might I say, if you're running low on ideas, just watch movies, TV shows, things like that.
Yeah.
They really get the brain juices flowing.
Right.
I think you're probably. I don't think I've ever seen anyone who has so much movie inspiration compared to you here, and it really pays off on your end, I think.
Yeah, I quite like Pseudo Matrix myself.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Sanguine?
Well, and this is coming from my perspective. I like to think that just any sort of animation in general can be closely tied together with like sketching and artistry, because like as an artist myself, I know that sometimes I take very long breaks between drawing characters, and I feel like that just kind of it kind of deteriorates my knowledge because I'm not practicing it enough. So I just keep in mind that if I don't work on it, I'm not going to improve, and I might get to a point where I'm going to get worse if I don't keep on practicing it. Because I've always felt like animation and drawing has always been closely related in how you practice with it. Because like if you don't work on it, you're never going to improve, and you're probably going to get worse at it, because then you'll start to forget on what your normal things are, and you know you tend to not listen to others very often. So I feel like it's very important for you to keep on going even if you feel like you're in the middle of a break or something, because at least you're still working on what makes you happy and your art. I feel like that's pretty important.
It's a nice one. I think personally, if someone's unmotivated, the hardest part is opening GMod. So
Very relatable.
you know, it really is. You see GMod, and you know, I gotta make a video, but I just don't want to start one. So you just have to do it. Open the goddamn app.
I can see what you're saying.
Just
Yeah.
open it.
Yeah.
Even
I've
from
done
there,
myself before.
even from there, like you have
What
to
you're
build a
saying
scene before you
Very
animate.
accurate.
Thanks. You know, you have to build a scene. Building a scene isn't animating, and it takes a lot of time sometimes, depending on what you're doing. So just get Gmod open, get a scene built, and then get going. From there, it's plain sailing.
Mm-hmm.
Right. We're now going to go on to Twitch questions. I know a couple of ones have been asked already.
Yeah.
But we're going to start with in the meantime, get asking, because we'll read all of them. We'll start with Cam's question. Never mind, that's from Saki, just repeated it. It's which TF2 class do you find is oversaturated in Gmod videos? So
That's
what class is
that's
too
very
many used?
That's actually kind of an easy question. I'd say either Scout, no offense to Shane, or Heavy. Definitely Heavy.
Definitely
oh yeah,
heavy.
I would
Yeah,
say
the heavy,
definitely
yeah.
heavy. It has to be heavy out of all of
Oh.
them.
Because I'm pretty sure why they do the heavy is because he has a funny personality, like the voice lines are funny, and that's
He's
why.
just overall a very comedic character, right?
Right.
And
Yeah.
of course,
Yeah.
Garry's Mod being how it is, I would say that that's an easy pick.
Yeah, once you have the characters that are good characters, it's hard to not use them.
Right.
Actually, I was gonna say Soldier was a pretty oversaturated character.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I don't
don't
see him a lot on
think
other
that at all.
GMods, but like, I can see where you're going.
Well, I guess you only have 9. Like, it's hard to not oversaturate all of them.
If I
Except
had to,
Pyro,
like-
because Pyro has no voice lines and is overall uninteresting to use.
Right. But if I
Yeah.
had to like rank them from like 1 to 3, I would say Heavy would be the number 1, Scout would be number 2, and 3, and this is just me personally, it would probably be Spy. I would say Spy.
Yeah.
Somehow I knew you'd
Because
say
Spy
that.
is used in quite a lot of things, I would say.
I promised to
think,
change my TF2 Sona immediately.
I think the thing about scouts is that people usually like to have their Sona as a scout. No offense to you, Shane, doing here,
Hey,
but
now.
it's just because he is he's young and he's white male. Like that's this isn't racist, but this is like 90% of people here. Like people think I look the most like Scout, so I will be the Scout.
It's because the Scout is like he has like the body form of a he looks like an average human.
Yeah, he's like a teenager.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas everyone else is an adult, and
He looks like your
nobody can identify with them.
Austin.
Let's see what else we got. Sonky asks, out of all the reoccurring collabs that have been appearing on YouTube, which ones you're getting sick of seeing? So like the stuff like Golden Sword. I know that's not going anymore, but there was 4 of them or something like that. The likes of that.
That's a very, very hard question. I answer that
Yeah.
at all.
It
I
is a
would-
tough one.
I would say that I haven't exactly seen all too
Like-
many Garry's Mod collaborations. It's mostly just individual videos with me, but I don't think there's really any sort of reoccurring collabs that I've actually been sick of seeing, really.
Maybe like Mario Calamity. They
Yeah,
have
definitely that one.
They have one
Yeah,
of those every 5
Okay,
minutes.
I guess there's that one then, yeah. There would be Mario.
That's on a next level of repetition.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm just kind of tired of seeing collabs in general. Unless
have
it's a very
gotten
original
old.
idea like Cammy's.
Yeah, there's
they're just all the same.
Copies everyone else. Like it's kind of like gets repetitive, and some
Yeah.
of the ideas of the entries are kind of unoriginal. And-
Unless you have something to kind of like shake it up a little and just bring something unique to the table, then I would say don't
like-
do a collab. I mean, like, okay, well, I mean, there's like an entire thing where, like if you're doing an entire collab, you need to make sure that it's 1, a good idea, and 2, people are actually going to enjoy watching it, because at the end of the day, you're making a collaboration of several different people. And of course, the number 1 thing you want after posting something is, to get people to watch it or to get people to look at it, have a good feedback and everything. So I feel like if you just repeat it too much, it just becomes really boring. I feel like that's just my whole stand on it. So
Yeah.
if you're gonna do a collab, just have something unique with it.
yeah.
On that note, I am here to officially announce my new joke collab. The Monsieur Herr go. You have to go to space,
Oh,
and that's it.
Okay.
No creative freedom whatsoever.
Promoting the channel, okay.
You have to use the exact same process in every video.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cannot differ from it in any single way.
That being said, I think most collabs these days don't have any creative freedom. It's
Mhm.
either make these characters do this. It's
Yeah.
it's hard to think of like something original for that.
Yeah, it's like you're being ordered to do what they want to have. Like you have to have this guy enter in, and then you have to have this guy like enter out. so it can like connect. And I just, I just wish there could be like some like creativity in it and not just like one specific topic to do on the GMod video.
I'm just gonna say this quick. I disliked the fact that Bore Machine did the 20-second collab just
Yeah,
after the
that
10.
was highly uncalled for.
I'm sorry,
And
20-second collab?
Yeah,
Oh my God.
Why?
like the
I don't
10-second
think he
collab
actually
was a
ever did it.
complete flop.
I didn't like it. I mean, no offense.
Okay, yeah,
but-
never mind. I just remember the 10-second collab.
Oh yeah, I
There's not much
completely
to
forgot
remember.
about that.
I mean, for an example of like a creative collab, Cammy's collaboration collab is a really great idea because you actually get to have like fun. You got to interact with other GModders to make a video together. I mean,
Yeah, there's
I
not
think
there's not like a set theme with it either. It's just
you can
like
do
make
you
whatever.
want. It just has to be involved with another GModder, and it's also awesome because you get to spread your ideas to other GModders, and you could create something really big and like an actual.
And
good
right
idea.
there's your creative freedom.
Yeah.
Exactly.
How
So
how many
everyone-
of you are in this collab? I know I am.
Oh well,
I got into the collab kind of late because Sunky the Pootis actually, lost his partner in the middle of it. But
Well, I'm the same, so
we
don't
are-
worry.
oh, okay, all right, yeah.
I mean, JP and I are partners, but we haven't made any progress at all. So
I am
that's great.
actually almost done with my partner, 23 Danny Boy.
Oh, really?
He has one more scene to do, and we're done. We get to edit it, and it's published. To
Not so bad.
Well, you got plenty of time, middle of November.
no,
Yep.
yeah.
Right. Think, we'll move on
Vigor.
now.
Vigar made a continuation question.
Yeah,
Ask.
Vigor asks, what collabs do you think actually deserve a sequel? Do any, though? Because
That's
once you
also
hit
the-
sequels, that's
yeah,
when you
really.
know you're going downhill.
Yeah,
Exactly,
I
yeah.
would say so.
You guys know
yeah.
like the cooking collab, like that was just
Oh,
Cooking Collab 2 was absolutely.
Then it just
Because
kept
I was
going on
in
and on. That's the problem, and it was just like
How
Movie
about
Tube's
the
third
collab,
one
collab,
was
collab,
a bit
collab?
I
better.
really didn't. I only liked the first original one because
Yeah.
HoovyTube's third cooking collab was a bit better.
and also
It had
It
some
was
quality
a
control.
little bit
YouTube did
better,
thrive
but-
off of collabs, though.
I would
also,
say like HoovyTube's third cooking collab would actually be like, it's good, but still the original is obviously the best one. I would say.
Yeah.
yeah.
Who made the original cooking collab?
I don't know. I
Psycho, I
think it
think.
was
Yeah, because I think I remember him not liking the fact that a second was made.
No, I think he really was outspoken about the third one being made because Hoovy didn't
Oh,
ask
okay.
permission.
Fair enough.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We've talked a lot about collabs, so we'll go
Let's
on to a
stop
question
talking.
from Warax.
Let's stop
So,
talking about collabs now and,
yes, and
answer
talk about
Warax's
something that's not
question.
a collab.
no more no collabs anymore. No.
Let's
This
go
is
on
also
to
the last question
Okay.
because JP said so.
JP said so, but like we can spend another 20 minutes of this if we really want to, and just be bold boys for JP.
JP locked me. He's forcing me to be in this podcast.
He's held you at gunpoint. That's why he's on mute, so you can't hear him.
Yes. I would like another question after this one though because this is a very short
Yeah, well,
podcast.
what is the hardest part to do in GMod animations? Asks Warax14.
I don't know. Since I'm pretty experienced, if I do say so myself, nothing
I would
really
say-
gets to me anymore. But if I had to say so, maybe walk cycles.
Walk
think-
cycles are
Yeah,
actual
that's,
demons.
I've learned to do them and I'm fine with doing them, but they take hours.
Yeah.
They aren't fun.
I will say I think the hardest part, like ever for me, like I do enjoy doing like walk cycles, especially facial animations, but I think the hardest part would probably be finger posing on like very specific sort of close-up scenes because you have to put like so much effort into every little movement.
Finger posing is just hell, really.
Yeah, especially on models in which they're not rigged properly. So you kind of have to like, I don't know. It's just I always felt that was just kind of a drag to do finger posing, but I had to do them if it was necessary, of course. But
I
all
gotta
in
say,
all,
Yeah,
all
if
in
it's
all, I just
necessary,
think,
if you have to do something in your animation, just do it.
yeah. It doesn't matter if it's a
You're
drag,
practicing.
just do it.
It's practicing.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I gotta
because
say, I
what Kami
dislike
said.
lip sync a lot, but it really depends on what lip sync I do.
The finger posing tool is in itself horrible.
they should.
Yeah.
Oh, big time.
Someone,
It
someone
sucks.
should
It
get
is
on for
awful,
easy finger
honestly.
posing. That would be a lot better.
What's the alternative, though?
I guess get it similar to the face poser.
No, make it like the SFM finger posing. It's so much better.
Oh, dude,
I don't
SFM's
know how it
finger
works
posing
in
is pretty
SFM.
good.
You are offending the GModders.
Never used SFM, so I can't. say
That's
for
a
sure.
bad word. No word. That's a no word.
Oh,
That's a bad word.
right. I believe it is time we go on to some video reviews.
Ain't that something?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So we're gonna start with our very own Tick has his new video out. Tick, would you like to talk about it first?
About my video, I don't know really what to say about it. I mean, there's a lot of room for improvement, but I think it's one of the best videos I've ever made.
Yeah, it is pretty good. But
Yeah,
I must say, I don't think it's very paced well.
No, it's very slow.
There's no setup. You don't really know what's going on. I think
I
it would have
felt-
worked better if you just made all the parts that you're going to make into one long video.
I felt like the shots were pretty long, just a tad bit too long. But what was kind of missing from the entire video was the animation was kind of, how can I explain this? Like,
Basic, bare bones.
I would say like because like me personally, I have like huge problems with like paying serious attention to detail, and I try to do as much as I can for like even the simplest of poses, like even making slight movements as like a breathing sort of thing, you know. But I felt like it was actually kind of very basic in terms of just like regular character animation, because it's quite clear
absolutely.
that you were taking this in a very sort of serious manner, and I have to commend you for that. That this is actually, I'm actually interested to see what happens next in the story. But
Yeah. I mean,
What I would say is there should be more movement. There were a lot of statuing. There was a
Yeah,
lot of
a lot of
statuing,
poses,
rather.
I don't
Statues
know.
do not work for serious long videos because you need something to look at.
yeah, and the things need to constantly be in motion.
and I mean, there's a lot of like cliche scenes in them, and like the part when the spy goes to see the sniper, and like and then you just see, and then it's just an iconic picture of like the sniper and spy together. I mean, that kind of get me like a cliche, because I don't know.
I felt that was kind of underdeveloped, really, because
Oh yeah,
like,
exactly.
it's quite clear that you were trying to portray that sniper and the spy were, in a close relationship or something like that, but we never exactly got context to that before, so it's like, how exactly should we care?
It was not conveyed well at all.
Not very, no. I did, however, think that that some of the facial animations were pretty well done, at least in some parts.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like it's good. You got good stuff going on.
I think the idea is creative. I mean, I would really want to see the second episode.
Yeah, because it's
yeah.
quite clear that there's room for improvement.
I've actually-
and if you keep on improving, then of course people will keep watching.
Here's, like I said before, I think it would have worked a lot better as one long video.
Right.
Lots of parts.
I've decided
Oh, yeah.
because of all the holes I put in episode 1, episode 3 would focus more on all the background that I originally missed.
That's good. Fair enough.
Fair point, yeah. But I really don't have a way to retort for that. I feel like that's a very fair point. Yeah.
Once it goes on, it'll get better as time goes on.
It's
Once more episodes come out, once we learn more about what's going on.
Just one more thing about the animation and the episode, though.
He clearly did not use stop motion helper.
Well, I mean, I just want to say, like, on the Scouts part, the one with like the hockey mask and everything, I felt like his movements were just very, very statuesque, as you were saying before. I didn't feel like there was much movement whatsoever. It was just like his arm and his head, and that was it. The rest of him was just completely frozen. And if you're going to make these characters feel alive, then of course you need to have them constantly in motion, at least in some way. Now, you might not have anything like motion capture in which everything quite literally is in motion, but at least give the illusion that it is. That's why they call it the illusion of animation.
Yeah. Animation is the illusion of movement. You gotta have movement. Not animation if there's no movement.
Yeah.
And there's barely any movement, so it's barely an animation. I'm just being
It's not that there's no movement. It's like there's a distinct pause before and after every movement.
Yeah, which kind of breaks the illusion, might I say. Indeed.
But other than that, that's something that I know is kind of hard to notice when you're doing it, but other than that, it's easy to fix.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone's always improving.
Let me add one more thing. That I've been learning how to make my own like special effects. They're not very good, I'd say.
I
but
did
I'm
notice
working
that.
on it.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
That was good. I liked it. Now, we're going to move on to, we always do a new video from someone usually on the podcast, and we do a classic Gmod. So our classic Gmod for this time is Who's Cooking Tonight?
Yeah.
There isn't much to say about it. It's like an iconic Gmod video.
It's iconic. It's got almost 23 million views.
Much bad about it, really. It's a perfect example of how good you can get with Garry's mod.
Oh yeah, it's
the perfect example of classic Gmod.
It is the classiciest.
It's silly. It's funny. It's well paced. It's got Valve characters in it.
It's quintessential.
The Left 4 Dead 2,
I might say.
I mean,
it's got that cartoon style.
I always very much loved the animation style that they had in this particular video, because like it's very cartoony. It's basically just what Garry's mod was for, really.
Reminds me of like a cartoon episode. And I remember watching this like the year when the year was made. I mean, I don't know what day, but like I remember I saw this, and like I didn't understand what was going on because I didn't know like the characters. I didn't know Left 4 Dead 2 at the time, but like I laughed. You didn't need to understand what was going on. It was just funny to like look at.
The first time I ever saw the video, I was like, I was just too busy like dying from like no breath just from laughing and everything. I was just like, how did they make this? This is amazing. How did they do this? And I think that's like what got me into Garry's mod, really, is that I was just trying to find what it was.
Nowadays we know how it works, so it's less amazing. It's also less funny.
I mean, personally, to me, I think it's still pretty much the same as the first time I really saw it, just because like animation has always been my passion ever since I was little. So I've always enjoyed it just the same, really. But you know,
I'm gonna say I haven't seen the video before until today, but
really?
It has that very classic feel to it, which I absolutely adore.
It's always good to have at least someone who hasn't seen it, because you sometimes get a different view, as we know. Like, if you can see its classic straight away, then you know that there is a difference between Gmod then and Gmod now.
Right. Oh, certainly.
And I mean, In my opinion, I guess that like this animation is kind of relevant to still like today, because I mean, it kind of relates to other like Gmod animators. I mean, it's kind of relevant to me. It's not like old style Gmod. I mean, I can like kind of relate that animation to like people like Crazy Scout.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Chris is like
There are definitely people who's around who still keep that that animation style alive.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
And I commend
I
them
think
for that. It's not
definitely.
exactly what I would do, but you got to give them some credit.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, I would say like, of course, at the end of the day, Gary's mod is really just like for fun and everything. You just do what you want in there. I mean, it's a sandbox game, of course,
Yeah.
but keeping a classic style while also mixing it in with like different newer styles and newer ways of how people put their animations together, I feel that just really helps out what Gary's mod is for, and it's for like having fun, having a community around it. It's what it was always meant to be. I mean, you get people like all across like the world and everything just making these different models, porting them, and people just end up using them for videos, and it's just a huge community. I absolutely love it.
I agree.
So yes, in a nutshell, this video, Who's Cooking Tonight, just in case you forgot what we were talking about, is the quintessential classic Gmod animation.
It
Or at
is
least
the
one of them.
embodiment of classic Gmod.
It embodies it. Yes, that's what
It
we
is
think.
This is
good old. It is good old Gmod.
and it kind of is like one of the most popular Gmods of all time.
Oh yeah, it's sitting
Oh,
on
yeah.
like 23
21
million
million
views.
views.
Yeah, that's a
I'm
lot.
fairly certain that screenshot's old. Actually, I think it's gone up.
That's a lot of views.
Definitely. Yeah. There's not many that get that high.
Yeah,
Some
there's-
get a couple million, but sometimes that's usually if like it's a meme or something.
Yeah.
Poor
There's
Gmod,
very
though.
few Gary's mod animations that get past, like 1 mil at the very like least, I would say. I don't know.
Like I know
but-
there's ScoutCon. That's the first example I thought of.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
ScoutCon is
ScoutCon, yeah.
certainly one, yes.
I'm pretty sure Ebel hates ScoutCon now.
I don't
So
know.
I-
He's definitely been trying to do other stuff, but I don't think anything will ever come to that popularity
I don't
as
know
much
if
as great as Evil is, and he's a great guy and all this. It's hard to get another massive surge of views on something.
Yeah,
know.
I don't
Here's
really.
the next video, man. It's a pretty long one.
Oh yeah, it seems like a big project.
I feel as though like while it is good to keep like your audience in mind, at the end of the day, I mean it's your channel, it's your creations, do what you want. Don't let people just
Yes.
get in the way of that. I mean,
Yes.
I absolutely feel that if you enjoy what you're doing and you firmly believe that that is what you should be doing, then just go on ahead, just keep on doing it, because really you're there for you. If you're there just for the people and you're there just for like the publicity and the subscribers and everything, but you're not really doing what you're enjoying, then what's the point? It goes right back to our first question. Yeah.
But I guess that's the end of our video review, and we had a great two this time. We're gonna. Mr. Triton has been asking for a certain question to be asked, so we're going to go back to it. How do you feel on the divide between really famous GMooders and GModders who have just started? Do you feel? Yeah, this is how we spelled it.
GMooders.
Do you feel that people who get a large following believe themselves superior?
No. To answer
No,
his
not-
question, no,
not
not
at
at
all.
all.
Not
Like
at all.
Gino, like I keep mentioning, hates himself.
He doesn't
Evil.
really though.
Depression.
I guess you could ask him.
You could, yeah. Maybe we'll do that.
I remember that I was walking into this whole Discord, the underrated GMooders of YouTube and everything. I was walking in it, and I then realized that when I look back on the video that got me in, my sword fighting video that I made with the sword trails and everything, I saw that HoovyTube was like commenting on me And I
Well,
was like,
to
holy
be fair,
crap.
HoovieTube comments on everything.
Yeah, that's
he's
true.
everywhere.
Yeah. But I just saw Hoovie was there, so I was just like, dude, this is really cool. Like someone that I watched almost all the time before. I thought that was pretty sweet. But I remember I don't know if it was JP or Kemi that was saying this, but Hoovie like considered himself very overrated.
Yeah, he does.
And,
Usually
yeah.
when
Oh yeah.
that's the trend I've noticed
Big
with
time.
popular GModders. They
That-
don't think
yeah.
they deserve their fame at all. Like with,
It kind of got me thinking, really.
Movie.
But Hoovie says it in that like edgy meme way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, true.
Not quite as sincere as how Abel might say it.
Right.
Every comment like Huey makes, he's like, "Wow, noisy animation" or something. He's like,
You should have seen him 2 years ago. He was very
Oh.
happy. Real happy boy.
Real happy boy.
Lots of faces and XDs. He's completely different now. And broken English. Can't forget
Oh,
the horrendous.
very broken English.
True.
Didn't you two start at the same time here?
Yeah,
More or
I
less.
think he started a month after I did. But then he made Fail for it, so now he's exponentially more popular than I am.
I mean, 2 years ago I was practicing on GMod. Like I was like,
So in a way, Hoovie2 basically ripped you off.
No, you see, I never made a Fail for it video, nor do I intend to. So, Dr. Hevich, if you're watching, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. Actually, I do know him. He's on a Discord I'm in, so I could ask him.
Well, in your own time.
In my own time.
I remember
Enough with
Hoovie adding
Enough
me
with
on
the
Steam.
tangents. Back to Hoovie.
Yeah, Hoovie added me on Steam before he had 100 subs. Like he was tiny at the time, and he was offering free profile pictures. And I was
oh,
like, yeah,
good
you remember
times.
this? Yeah.
I remember this so
And
well.
he was posting them on Google Plus. I remember he gave me a free profile picture, and it was the same like garbled HWM scout face that he had given to maybe 6 other people with a different color background.
yes,
Wow.
I was actually one of them, and I requested one because like it was around the time when I was first friends with him, and he was like, hey, can you make one for me? And it was just I didn't like it at all because first of all, my hat was in colored white, and the background was like I forgot what the background was. I think it was like green, and I was like, okay, and it was just like it got it all wrong, and I never used it as like my profile picture. Like I never.
No, I told him that he gave me this scout, and I said, no, I don't use scout. And he was like, oh, why don't you change to scout for me then?
Classic Hoovie.
Hey
Oh, well,
guys,
enough ratting on Hoovie.
Could I say something really
He's a
quick?
big boy now.
Oh,
Go
hi,
ahead.
I have
JP.
something to
What's
say.
up?
Oh, there's JP.
Well, I
Yeah,
gotta
all right.
say that
Special guest.
we don't just make animations and keep them to ourselves. We upload to YouTube hoping to garner some sort of recognition. And I can't stress enough the importance of the better off and more experienced animators reaching out to the newbies. And yeah, you're just helping them out. You
Oh,
know?
yeah.
Yeah.
This is why we have Discord servers and stuff, because community is how you keep things together.
Right.
That's what I had to say. Thanks, guys.
Okay. Well, while JP comes out of nowhere to give us a very nice
Comes out of
thing.
the bush.
Yeah.
Thanks for that, JP.
Speaking of the small people, I need to invite some more tiny GModders.
Tiny, tiny boy.
Chinese.
Yeah, so how do you go about inviting people, actually? Because this group is otherwise uninvitable.
JP comments on your video saying he pretended to like it.
Yeah.
And then he gives you a link. That's how I got
Those-
him.
I hope you know
JP
JP goes
was
always
actually the one that invited me on that video, on the sword video. Yeah.
He actually gets all the other staff by whipping them into inviting other people.
I watch all of your videos. I promise. I promise.
I don't believe you.
I love you
But I'll
guys.
take your word for it nonetheless.
Well, now that they brought it up, I'm skeptical. Do you really like me? Yeah.
Oh, don't worry. You're our friend.
Oh, I'm sure.
And then he muted himself. Oh, that must mean he doesn't like
Oh.
me.
Oh,
Aw.
poor boy.
I feel dead now.
I love all of you.
Aw.
This is all part of JP's master plan to kill all of us.
Oh no!
Send us all into one big
Like
GMod
pigs
channel.
to the slaughter.
Oh my god.
He'll take bits of your body and bits of my body and sew them together to make a GMod ragdoll.
Oh
GMod.
my.
A GMod Frankenstein's monster. Ain't that something?
How interesting.
Please tell me the GMod Frankenstein's monster will have HWM posing.
It'll
Oh my
have two
God,
versions.
please.
Oh. I want all the body groups HWM posing so I can make it smile. ST smile.
We need a posable ghost model.
Yes.
We need a lot of things though.
Yeah, we do.
There's so many things we need.
There's
Oh.
also so many things we don't need, but we keep on getting
Let's
those.
not go on mentioning those.
Yeah,
I
let's
think
not.
the lesson here is learn Blender.
Exactly.
True. Yeah.
I don't know. I tried to operate a blender once and I cut my hands.
What?
So I don't know if I
Oh,
want
well,
to go
that's,
back to Blender.
I think you shouldn't have put your hand in the blender.
You might be using the wrong software. I mean, my hand's just fine from using the mouse, but like, I don't know.
I don't know. You,
Might be using the wrong OS. You using Blender instead of Windows.
Right. Well, we have had a very long podcast, longer than usual, but I think it's gone great. What do you guys think?
I think it went horribly. I hate all of it.
Oh well, thank you for your opinion here.
Quite personally, I
Anytime.
just loved being on here. Really, thanks for having me on. First podcast I've ever really done. So
Great to have you.
You were great.
Honored to be here.
I loved the answer. Your answers were very articulate and very insightful, if I might say.
Definitely, yeah. You had a good answer for
Thank you
everything.
so much.
Yes.
So,
You're very knowledgeable. I'd like to speak with you again.
definitely.
Thank
so.
you.
I would agree with that statement.
So thank you, Tick. Thank you, Shane. Thank you, Sanguine. And thank you, Herr. This has been the G Podcast number 5. And thank you, everybody. Good night.